They said Dalvin Cook was too expensive. They said Devontae Adams was too expensive. Leone told me the weather wasn't an issue and Kareem Hunt would be fine. It's week 8. Welcome to the Tilt Space.
What's up, boys? How we doing? Is that you, Pete?
Oh.
Wait, was that? I thought normally there's like a 20-second.
We already did the intro. We talked about this before we went
I thought
live.
I do the cold open, and then the intro goes.
Nah, maybe I screwed it up.
Do an intro.
What else is new? Maybe I screwed it up. I wasn't gonna do a second intro though. Are we gonna pre-tilt the tilt space with more tilt because I messed up the intro?
Do you know what a cold open is? The one we've done the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're probably right, but we're gonna roll with this. We do have a guest. You want to introduce our guest, Pete? You want to be the host?
Yes, the one, sometimes we're all such donkeys. Actually, Leone's not a donkey. He's trying to hold on to first place in the Thunderdome. He saved his good Thunderdome week for the time we didn't share that action. And Pat Kerrane, who's my co-host, he's supposed to be a Dynasty best ball Xer and now is like better at DFS than me. So I figured why not bring him on so he could talk to me on my own show too. It's just a great time all around. Welcome to the show, Pat Kerrane from Ship Chasing and Establish the Run.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Good stuff.
So Pat, so let's set the stage here. Leone, let people know what you got going in the Thunderdome right now.
Yeah, so I had a Mahomes stack that did well. I was the only team in the Thunderdome with Kelsey, but I'm sweating charges from Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, a Kamara team, randomly a couple Albert O teams. So I'm just dodging bullets left and right, swatting them away with my hook.
Hang on, Kerrane. Literally no one on the planet has been talking about Albert O other than Davis. Can you make any other explanation for why people are playing Albert O in the Thunderdome?
I literally can't because not only was no one else talking about him, but it was really clear that Noah Fant was banged up last week, and that it was just I was assuming that Fant would have a much bigger role this week, so it just kind of went against logic in my mind. So I think
you guys, I swear to God, you guys, if Alberto, oh man,
dude, Davis is gonna shove it right up your ass if All right, and let's set the stage for Pat here. So, Pat, let people know what team you have going on in the red zone. My best team today is in this same contest, but it's not as good as yours. So tell the people what your fucking team is.
Yeah, so this is the 300K red zone. And I had the Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams mini correlation with a Gaskin Dolphins mini correlation. And then the question was, do I swap off of what I had or do I stay on? I stayed on Justin Herbert, the Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry double stack, and the Jerry Jeudy bring back with DJ Dallas in the flex. So I'm right now I'm in 49th place and I'm trying to get up. This is a tournament with a 50K top prize. I'm currently winning 400. So there's
didn't you on that DJ Dallas TD you jumped like 50 spots, right?
Yeah. Oh, something good just happened, guys.
He's on to 27.
Jeudy converted a 3rd and 16.
Let's go.
All right,
I just jumped up to 27.
Are you hot?
Judy's 27 from the bonus.
It honestly has like pretty good ventilation in here. It's kind of like First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. There's like lots of little holes for like the wind to blow in between, but it's just very hard to see.
What's nice about you sticking, I just ignore Peter because he can just blah, 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 blah. So what's nice about you sticking and not making that swap, Kerrane, is even though I told you should swap, like having someone like Jeudy gives you an out where like absolutely nobody up here has Jeudy. So you have this out.
Pat, why don't you let everyone know who kind of the sharp was in your ear telling you to hold on this?
Yeah, I was talking to Leone and he was talking to Wiggins and Dink, and they were like, "You guys got to switch." But talking to Pete Overzet, he's like, "Dude, I think you just ride it, man. You just roll with it." And I rolled with it. I'm feeling good about it.
I said I hopped on a call with Pat. I was like, "Just raw dog it, dude. Forget those dudes and their condoms. Just raw dog it with Herbert."
Yo, Jimmy's getting pulled.
What? Are you kidding?
Jimmy, 53% own Jimmy in the Thunderdome is getting pulled.
That's
wow.
Huge.
That is huge for you because, like, I thought you should have swapped to Jimmy.
53%.
What a donkey I am.
I guess talk through that swap, like, because I guess.
Wait, why don't you talk through you being an idiot?
So because I do feel like it made.
I think towards the end I had even said a little bit after lock that I think the decision made sense after the fact, but at the point in time, I guess I didn't realize Davante Adams, even though he had the 2 touchdowns, this was before the third, really had like just an okay game. Because you think Davante Adams has 2 touchdowns, he's going to put up 40, right? But his yards and catches were so low, that wasn't the case. But you had an early start of Gaskin, Dalvin Cook, Dolphins defense, Davante Adams, which at one point just seemed like the pure nuts with the exception of not having Kelsey and Mahomes, because Hunt and Jamal Williams, it looked like Gaskin had that Dolphins game was taking so long that you had a whole quarter on those guys and looked like Gaskin could blow those guys away. And what ended up happening is Hunt still sucked, but Gaskin really didn't do much in the second half, and Jamal Williams kind of limped to value. So between that and then Tyreek Hill getting another touchdown and Adams not being as high as I thought, I can see what you did. I kind of thought for a while there you were close to this stone start, and it made sense to just play the highest projected team because I didn't think you needed leverage on the field. But I'm very glad that you did decide to do it. I thought staying with DJ Dallas was a great move either way, though. DJ Dallas was a great play. I kind of bitched out on that play. I like half and halved DJ Dallas this week, but if we had the Carson inactive news before lock, that's someone who's 25 to 30% owned, and you got him at 2%, which is nuts. Those opportunities don't come up that often throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, and listening to you and Drew, and then the show with Wiggins this morning.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
You just told me not to do this.
Albert O touchdown.
Come on.
According to the chat.
Yeah.
Yep, I just saw it.
God.
Good Lord.
And you would think I'm upset for Leone, but I'm upset for having to deal with Davis.
Oh,
Jesus, that is gross.
That is so rough.
Oh
Jesus.
My God.
So we got a guy that is 11 points back of you now, Leone, with Keenan Allen.
I don't know.
No, you have Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he's got Albert. That team's not as scary unless Albert O scores a second fucking touchdown. But there's a team that had Jimmy. Well, now if Jimmy's pulled, I'm still looking okay. But there's a Kamara Albert O team that's like 24 back. That looked really scary. But if Jimmy gets pulled, I mean, it's like that team's scary if Jimmy were to even get to like 15. But if he's done, then things look okay. I'm hoping Seattle just takes the foot off the gas. We see a lot of DJ Dallas runs, which will help Kerrane. We get enough of this Russ DK Metcalf stuff. That's sort of what we're hoping for, right?
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
right.
Part of the reason I didn't swap.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was just gonna say part of the reason I didn't swap is that this script was like because I couldn't get to DK or Lockett, I didn't want Jimmy and then be like, if Jimmy blew up, I knew I was gonna either DK or Lockett was probably gonna kill me. So I just wanted this game to fail, and you could do that with just Dallas. So that was So this exact script was like what I was praying for.
And it's a very similar team to the team you won the Engage 8 with. You got this big secondary correlation. The team you won a few weeks ago was a Houston, Tennessee game stack, and then you had the Julio, Justin Jefferson game stack. Now you've got the Denver Chargers game stack, and you hit huge on the Dalvin Davante Adams correlation. And in both cases, you're off correlations. They really weren't owned. About 10% each, so nothing crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. And we did just dodge. I mean, DK Metcalf had a step on that throw there before the Seahawks had to kick a field goal. Very close to another DK Metcalf touchdown there.
I can't believe Albert O scored after that.
Dude, yeah, you want to know what Davis tweeted? Albert O, never in doubt.
Did he really tout Albert O this week, though?
Dude, I've been beating him back on Albert O for 2 weeks, man, and he has been just holding strong on it.
Well, anyone who's got good athletic measurables that isn't good needs to be touted.
You're not supposed to call them touts, though. I found that out on Twitter today. That some people take a lot of offense being called a tout, which I don't think. I think people take themselves way too seriously.
I don't like it. I mean, I identify kind of as like a fanalist. Like I'm half a fan, but I'm also an analyst, and that's just kind of the needle I like to thread. Like if I tout DeAndre Swift, like I'm a tout, you know. But if I, you know, tout someone else, say like Kareem Hunt, then I'm just a fan, you know.
Process over results, right, Pete? Come on. We have actually another sweat in the chat. Our boy Noel fan actually in 21st place in the Mega Million right now. So we should take a peek at his team.
Oh wow, yeah. He told me he had something cooking after earlier. He thought he was kind of dead.
Noel. So. I know he's watching this right now too. So let's go over his team. He's got Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf. He does have Dallas on this team. Brought it back.
All the guys
with
were anti-sweating.
But I mean, earlier today he basically had Henry and Dolphins D and Corey Davis in the beginning of
Corey Davis, huge.
Yeah, and then he had Bryant at tight end.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy to play Corey Davis and Henry together without a bring back. But I know Noel, he likes his condensed offenses, and if you feel like Tennessee was condensed and no one was going to play Corey, then that's phenomenal ownership on Davis.
Can we actually just take a second to appreciate the fact that Derrick Henry didn't body bag us today? I thought it was coming and he didn't do it.
And he had the bonus with like a full quarter left, didn't he? Had to have been close.
That's what happens when you're priced up that much. Like you really have to go nuclear to smash at that price tag and ownership.
That's what they tell me. I don't know. It's the first time it actually hasn't buried us. But yeah, shout out Noel. We're pulling for you, man. No one deserves it more. I guess there's probably one person on the planet that deserves it more. It's that person that lost on that sack that was taken away last week. But Noel was very high in the Wildcat, I think like top 3. And then basically that last Lockett touchdown dropped him to like 18th or something. So we're pulling for you, buddy.
I was tilting Davis in one of our Slack chats. And I just said, well, you know, we're tilting you after that Albert OTD. And he goes, lol, I mean, you guys just got to admit he's good.
What is happening?
You got to
chat right now.
Davis is in the chat, but Ace Boogie going deep into the 2014 reserves. Davis was also on OBJ. I don't even know what that is referencing there. That's a pretty deep cut.
Tough.
Yeah, the famous Davis Maddock Odell Beckham takes. Rest in peace. We've all been there. Some more than others.
Pete, you didn't really take a much of a Dallas victory lap here. I expected a little more from you on that one. That was like your one thing all morning. You're like, no, have to jam in. Have to do it.
Professional, man. This isn't my first time around the block. And, you know, I kind of like this facade where, you know, people think I'm a donkey. I don't know why they think that, but just on the DL, Joe, I got really sick takes, you know?
Yeah. All right. Someone in the chat's asking about our Millie Maker teams. We actually want to touch on these. Can I even find them, Leone? Are we too far down?
Yeah, we're cashing a team.
Okay.
We're cashing a team.
Main cash tilt space.
We have one team cashing.
I've seen worse performances.
This is true. We got our little mini correlation. We got our Hollywood Brown Claypool team, which was not looking so hot for a little while. Kind of a little bit of a suck out there, but
I can't believe we got Hollywood and Claypool TDs, and neither of them was a big play. That's absurd.
I've got my parrot on my shoulder here. Oh, get up here.
We just need to like run a little better on defense, though. I guess we were just talking about how we kept paying down. We just didn't pay down to the right one, basically, like 3 weeks in a row.
I know. The second I said we should stop slotting in the best cheap defense, and apparently Dolphins was somewhat chalky. So Kittle immediately gets a catch with Jimmy out, but then he gets hurt on the play, so he's going to the sideline.
Yeah, that was a nice catch. When he got up to celebrate the catch, he didn't look that hurt, and then he went back to the line of scrimmage and started limping off.
Oh my goodness, just tick that clock down. Tick, 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 tick. Peter was saying I needed the not the stopwatch, but the
pocket watch.
The pocket watch that the crocodile eats in Peter Pan that scares the shit out of Captain Hook. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I want to hear the tick tock though.
Pat, did you get up to anything good for Halloween? Any cool speakeasy theme parties, little sex dungeons, other shit that goes down in Brooklyn?
We skipped the sex dungeons this year.
I mean, once
Was
you've
that a
done it,
COVID-related move?
Yeah, and you know, I've been around the block. Just want a bigger and better thing.
Did you have a costume last night, Pat? All of us, have been dressed up. Joe was a glow stick guy. What were you?
I was a stick figure, Pete. Get it right.
Okay, whatever.
I didn't
no,
dress up.
No, I liked.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
got
there was
dinner.
Holka. Wasn't that from a meme?
I have no idea. I didn't pick the costume. It was literally
Ask
like, hey,
your
we should do
girlfriend
something.
if it was from a meme.
She's not here
I think-
right now. Literally.
Oh.
Why do you think I have a full mimosa in my hand? Normally it would be all over my couch right now if she was here.
Fair enough.
No, maybe it is from a meme. I have no idea. She's just like, we should buy a bunch of glow sticks, and I don't know. Not the most
You guys-
clever costume we've ever had, for sure. You guys did a little better than we did.
Did you guys drop a bean, dude? Fucking rave shit over there with your glow sticks. Listening.
That
to
sounds a little more
Diplo out
exciting
there.
than the actual Saturday night, that's for sure. Pete's got this like bit where he just like rips into me because he thinks I'm going to like bars constantly. Like it's not a great look.
You're
for me.
always
It's also not true.
Oh, I went to a Halloween
I went
party.
to a
I'm
wedding.
going to
I went to
my
a
third
wedding.
wedding in 3 days.
I went to a wedding.
Oh.
Holka's literally like the swinger scene in Minnesota is incredible right now. We're like, what?
Oh my god.
Someone in the chat says, does Pat's headphones have everlasting batteries? It does look like you have 2 USB thumb drives on your ears.
Are those? No, those are the Beats Pro, right?
Beats. Yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
those are great for running.
This guy wins the Engage 8 one time and starts splurging on high-end audio equipment.
No, I've
Oh
had these
my
for a while.
God.
These are what cut out. These are what allowed us to draft Zach Moss and Jalen Rager.
It's finally coming around. 8 weeks into the season, it started to work out.
8 weeks in.
Yeah, dude, their Moss at one point I thought was going to get the hat trick. So you must have been pumped. I also
Nice.
heard
That's nice.
that Overset has to kind of double check these starting lineups, and he missed a Rager Hardman swap somewhere.
Tough.
I had Hardman in our lineup, and then Pat comes in at the 11th hour and says, guys, what do you think about Rager? That's Davis doing Pat's voice, apparently. But yeah, they swapped my. I was on top. These were my late swaps this morning. And Pat, don't talk about the one where you put Josh Allen back in for Jimmy Garoppolo. But other than that, put Naheem Hines in for JaMychal Hasty. I had Hardman in for Rager, and these guys come in and they mess up my genius.
Scene.
When you Googled Hardman, did he have a lot of points?
He did.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about this. Pete, tell people how you sweat.
How I sweat?
It's insane.
So I don't like, have you guys ever heard the phrase, a watched pot doesn't boil? I don't like staring at my live scoring. So I generally know who I have in my lineups. I'll pull up my CSV to remember which guys I have in the lineups together. If I want to know Jamal Williams' exact stat line, I'll Google Packers, and then I'll look at the box score to see how Jamal Williams is doing. But I will not at any point look at the live scoring. This is why when I won $10,000, you guys had to tell me in the chat I was 3rd place. I don't like actually looking at the standings.
That's horrible.
Stop
And this goes for
running the
season long
ball,
too. You have
Chargers.
no idea what our matchups are.
No.
How are you supposed
I
to
don't-
send out like your screenshots?
Imagine
when you
checking
Marla?
a season-long matchup.
What? Have you
Pat.
guys noticed?
I mean,
You guys are miserable every Sunday, and I'm having the time of my life. Have you ever thought about that?
you're miserable too. Are you kidding,
kidding
me?
me?
Let's pull some Tilt Space Discord messages.
We should.
No, please don't. Those are behind the paywall. Yeah, Brian Hooper in the chat. Why did Pete take Hines out of his spy lineup? Is he anti-sim? I thought I knew better. I thought these Brian Hooper sims were just some nerd bullshit. I came in with a jock finesse and wiggled him right out of my lineups.
Ayuk to the 1.
Leone, how are you the only one with Kelsey in the Thunderdome? How does that happen?
That's wild.
Should we talk about the 16 dupe lineups in this thing? This field size of 30, where
I
it's
believe
like
there were only 3 dupes this week.
Only
Oh, there
3
were
in a
only 2
30-person contest. That's impressive.
Oh, there was one team that was duped twice and one team that was duped 3 times.
That's so bad. Like, is it like
But there's
this is
so
probably like
many
the most
2v2s,
untold
dude.
story in DFS. It's like literally like that this contest is like, I don't know, low key,
Well,
very plus EV to play.
some of us finished dead last week by a resounding margin. So you got to take the good with the bad. But I do think it's a plus. I think some, not even whether it's high stakes, just any of these tournaments that sometimes they're just called leagues, but these 30, 50 man, even 100 mans, people are just playing cash lineups,
Leone, this if you want to gain followers, if you want to cause a stir, just call some people fucking donkeys
No,
right now.
I'm not going to do
You're
that.
too polite. I'm gonna win the Thunderdome. No, just call people out.
I might not even win.
That's what will make it so great.
Yeah, after this Osimo Empire Maker thing, it'll just be Leone Empire Maker next.
Jarek McKinnon touchdown, back from the dead. Legs look good. Legs look good.
Legs weren't tired on that one.
Nope.
Wow.
Carlos in the chat says Pete needs to play exclusively on FanDuel. Basically, it's basically what you're doing. You have no idea what's going on the entire slate.
No, I haven't checked my FanDuel lineups all day. I can barely
Me either.
remember who I played. I do have a Russ double
my
check.
God.
What happened, Leone?
Oh boy.
Breeze to Taysom Hill for 6.
Oh God.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Can we have a moment of silence for that slate last year in playoffs where everyone gets jammed in Taysom Hill at tight end and he threw a touchdown, caught one, had like 30 points? This is the best.
Big T, the best moment of Big T's life.
That was a showdown slate, right? With Taysom
I mean,
Hill.
if it was in the playoffs, it was a showdown slate. Yeah.
Trust the process.
Okay, that was good. That was good. The non-Kamara touchdown there is very good.
So Leone's sitting here with 161.64 points. Bam Catfish behind him with the Alberto, 150.56. But the team you're really sweating is, I don't even know what, I mean.
A-Raven, 6th, maybe?
Yeah, who?
There's
Kamara team?
There's a Russ Metcalf team that's 22 back, which, is one bomb.
Yeah, that's the Empire Maker team.
No, he's... Oh,
he has Russ
shit.
Metcalf.
He has Kamara too.
Okay, so I guess this is how it goes. Is Russ Metcalf could just body bag me. Like a few teams would pass me.
This is why I
Empire
think you
Maker
really...
team's definitely live. He's got Kamara
I think you
too.
need to call out Empire Maker right now.
Because he has
I'm not
Kamara
gonna
who's
do
1
it.
yard away from
I don't
the
want to give
receiving
him.
bonus.
He doesn't, deserve any more attention than he's already gotten.
Okay, that was the call out I
Okay,
wanted.
that's good.
I like
Yes.
that.
Nice start.
There we go.
Yeah, Kamara 99 receiving yards right now.
Siler in the chat. Pat, let's talk about tight end targets per run.
Well, maybe we should stop because Hunter Henry's ruining my life.
Dude, mine too. Dink gives me so much shit every week on our ETR show. I have to mention Hunter Henry, and it goes poorly. But at least he mentions Latavius Murray, so it kind of evens out.
Right.
You should just start yelling Cam Akers anytime you need to win a point.
Null fan in 19th, climbing.
Yeah. Chase says Pete picked Awesome over EM2. Laugh my ass off. Well, here's the thing. I have now I'm sliding into Awesome's DMs. We're gonna start to fix some things. He had a good lineup last week, but played Julian Edelman. This week he had a good lineup, but played Tevin Coleman. We're just gonna make a few subtle tweaks, and then we'll get him up there. I mean, I consulted Leone. Leone's now winning the Thunderdome. So if Osmo wants part of my Thunderdome private coaching, I'm available for a nice...
I have to. I was really scrambled this week, so I got to give kudos to you and Andrew Wiggins. Kind of both got me on the KC stack via some things you guys were hearing. So I didn't know what to do this week. I was really thrown for a loop between the weather and like really liking chalk running backs, and I had no idea what to play. And pricing was a little bit tougher this week too, I felt like.
Yeah, I was like trying to turn to you this morning looking for direction, and you're just like, man, I'm just a fanalist, like I'm just trying to figure this out like the rest of you guys.
I ain't no tout.
Yeah, but 99% of your content is out there for free though, right? That's what I heard. I don't know. What's going to be the worst thing about these running backs though is Kareem Hunt's going to go absolutely nuclear the first game Chubb's back, and no one's going to play him because he's just been terrible for 4 weeks.
Davis wants us to talk about Albert O's targets per route run.
Oh my god.
Been good. They've been really good. But I was assuming that would that he would be running a lot less routes with Fanpack.
Is that his only target of the game?
Yeah. It was only reception. Let me see.
Wow, Lindsey breaks another pretty good run.
Pat, what place are you in right now in the red zone?
God,
I'm in 29th place.
29.
they just keep throwing to Metcalf.
All right. I'm looking at Pat's team here. I mean, you can climb quickly. So just to give people some color here, Pat's in 29th with 190.3 points. And all right, it's going to be hard to get first. Corey Volk. I believe Corey Volk is in the chat. Did I see him? Corey Volk's one of my guys. Sorry, Pat. He's
in first.
He has 227.84 points in first place. Corey, announce yourself here.
Announce yourself.
Yeah, he's got Metcalf with the with Mahomes.
And
He
Dalvin.
went Mahomes
obviously.
double with Robinson.
Dude, the Robinson was nice. I was actually looking at some of the blitz not blitz optimals per se, but I was running blitz optimals with like a double stack bring back. And I saw the Mahomes, Robinson, Kelsey with the Mims bring back popping up a decent amount. I like that team there, Corey. Nice work.
Deshaun Hamilton TD.
It's not the worst thing for me because I just
No, the game's sped up. I mean, it's close.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's Corey in the chat. Corey. This show is like a what have you done for me lately? So Leone's like, I'm winning the Thunderdome. And then Pat's like, I might take first in this. And so we're like, we'll bring him on. And then Corey's like, no, I'm actually in first. And I'm like, yeah, Corey's my dude.
Loyalty, you know?
We need Russ to just stop and hand the ball off to DJ, right, Pat? I mean, can we just get some DJ Dallas?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Oh my God.
Who is
They're
this
just-
tight end? Is this a Disley yards after catch here? Pat, is this
Why
the
isn't that
Brooklyn
happening?
Sirens? Like, we get it. You live in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, dude.
Yeah, sorry guys.
You don't have to do this every time.
Not like an ambulance to let us know that there's a speakeasy just around the corner.
Sorry guys, I live in Brooklyn.
How are
Jesus.
our super contest picks this week? I haven't really been paying attention.
Oh, my
We got
God.
the Patriots, baby.
How did that? Good for us.
I got to pull up our picks because, boy, do I not remember them every week.
Pete, I'm having a hard
Yeah, we
time finding
submitted
a team
them
in
on
this file.
Thursday.
So
So I will say, we should say this. So we were behind in the super contest. And one of our thoughts is we really need to be prioritizing games that aren't heavily picked. So we're applying a contrarian mindset to the super contest. And one of what we thought was maybe an undiscovered edge was getting your picks in by Thursday, because we noticed the Thursday games aren't picked that often. However, the rub is you have to get in all of your picks by Thursday. So we did that this week because we said, hey, we kind of like New Orleans here, right? Or no, who was it? Atlanta?
We liked Carolina.
yeah, it was Carolina.
All right, who knows where I am in my.
Well, there's only one Thursday game.
Theoretically, had we liked Atlanta, that would have worked out a lot better.
Yeah, so we lost that, and I can't even find our other picks in there. Is it on the overlay right now, Joe?
No, I was too busy trying to build us something for Pat. I'll bring up the picks right now. I gotta find our Corbs chat here.
I know.
Yeah.
I think we had the Jets, which we lost.
Yep.
And I'm
Cowboys,
pretty sure we had
Rams,
Dallas.
Panthers, Patriots, Jets.
It's
So, like,
over.
Literally,
We're dead.
I was gonna make a video for this just to like have our picks out there, and I messaged you guys. I'm like, there's like of our 5 picks, there's 4 of them that I can't like legitimately make a case for to make a video. So that's just not happening anymore. We're gonna
Hey, we
retire
won
that
one of those 4, so
That's true.
we lost to. I mean, the Jets won. Yeah, you just Adam Gase was like legitimately running out the clock in the 4th quarter. It was unbelievable. Usually, you think you get a chance at a backdoor cover there.
Here's the thing. We learned a lot this year on how to do the super contest. Did it cost us $5,000 to learn that? Yes. But did we learn a lot? Yes.
Moral
And also
victories.
Chris, the line movement CEO, he's crushing in the super contest. That's where we're going to direct our energy.
He's got a
Chris was the
sweat.
sharp. We should have listened to him all along. Why haven't we been tailing Chris in the super contest?
Tough scene, man. Should just be tailing him at life.
Chris, send me your super contest picks. Lord knows we need them.
I'll bring it up. I'm in the chat.
We actually were picking pretty well. It's just we decided to join a winner take all contest.
Siler in the chat says contest selection, boys.
All right, Chris has Buffalo, KC, Green Bay, Baltimore, Seattle. But he is sitting in 9th place right now overall.
We lost Buffalo. What a donkey pick Buffalo was.
Wow,
we almost
Chris.
lost outright.
Why didn't you know New England was going to pull that out?
Yeah. Tough scene.
Okay, Seahawks punted. That is a good thing. Hopefully the Niners do nothing and Seattle just sits on the ball. Meanwhile, Herbert's still slinging a little bit. Keenan with a catch.
Hunter Henry had a 5-yard catch.
Leone, while we're waiting for this to kind of play out, I need to. So look at my spy team right now. You guys are rubbing off on me. Look at this. Like it feels good in some ways. Like all these players that are just, I guess, much lower owned than anything I would ever endorse. But like sub 1% Cam to Mayers. We got the mini stack with Juju.
Mayers.
To who? Wait. Back that up. Who is
Myers? Whatever, man. Jacoby Myers. Is that how you say the guy's name? You're going to chirp me for like mispronouncing a name? Okay.
I mean, Myers is a pretty
don't know who
common
Mayers is.
name.
What's the difference?
So-
Myers or Mayers? What's the difference?
Well, one
thing
guy did that song.
He's 3,500.
Banana
When he's
Pancake,
above
and
4K,
the other-
I'll learn how to say his name.
I don't know if I like the double Pittsburgh, but
Well, it's just a little. It was the mini stack because I had
Yeah, I know.
Hollywood in here too.
I know, but I don't know if I like the double pit. I just kind of like the 1v1 correlation there. I think it's fine, but you talk about worrying getting 2 off the board when the 2 chalkiest running backs on the slate were really, if you didn't play them, you were in a good shape. Hunt and Jamal Williams.
Yeah, 4 guys here.
I mean,
1%. Chargers.
And I played them everywhere because I just thought they were such good plays. I didn't care, but
I personally
about-
wouldn't have played Cum Newton to Jacoby Mayers, but like to each his own,
Jacoby Mayers. All right, we're gonna have to get you on.
I mean,
one of
Myers, that was really good leverage off the other cheap receivers. So I honestly don't mind the Cam.
Well, even
Myers
Cam
play
versus
at
like
all.
Jimmy G, when everyone in the world acknowledged that Jimmy G, the guy that's in the locker room right now, was the play if you're paying down, right?
I like that. I normally don't like playing 3 chalk running backs, but you were so contrarian elsewhere that I was probably fine.
Sure. And then I was trying. I mean, literally, Chargers D even in this sub 1%.
Oh, God damn it. Ayuk with a 33-yard catch. Mooney with a touchdown. Slow the fuck down, games.
Anyways, we're making
Leone
progress.
wants
Like
so many
Leone's only allowed to call me a chalk donkey like once a show now after this. That's my point.
No, if anything, you're too contrarian at this point. It's actually your downfall, Joe.
Just play the best plays.
Joe hates us. so
remember
much.
the best lineup I sent across this morning? That had Hardman in the 3 chalk running backs. I knew Joe would love it.
Yeah.
don't think it
Well, we
actually ended up
considered
going
it, and
good.
we were tilting it until we caught those fucking 2 bombs from Tyreek, and then we didn't care about our Hardman team anymore.
Can we point out, though, that we're week 8, and there's been at least 3 weeks, maybe 4, where multiple chalk running backs have really failed. Where if you basically didn't play the chalk running backs each week of the season, there were obviously some weeks you got crushed, but there were some weeks you were in amazing shape. I mean, look at Kerrane's team. Just by not having Hunt and Jamal Williams, it let him do some different stuff. Gaskin wasn't great, but he was cheaper than both those guys. And then he gets Dalvin, who was $600 more than Hunt, and you probably couldn't afford him if you didn't play Gaskin. And you pick up freaking 40 points on Hunt. Obviously, that's a rare outcome, but it's tough to fade the chalk running backs. But I think at this point, we have to start considering that chalk running backs fail too, not just chalk receivers.
And one of us, of the 4 of us here yesterday, actually had a tweet that Chalktober ended yesterday. It's hard to remember who said that, but one of us was kind of on top of this trend about the chalk starting to fail.
Oh man, Bourne with a 20-yard catch. That's good for Noel. But not good for speeding this game up. We get a freaking Ross Dwelly touchdown. Would really like this 2-point conversion attempt to fail.
Chargers got to the red zone and then committed a 15-yard penalty, which hurts me.
What spot are
they're
you in, Pat?
just lengthening the Hunter Henry touchdown.
Pat's
That's all,
up to
Pat.
24th.
Yep.
I mean, Pat,
I got passed by an Alberto team.
Did you really? Jeez.
Yeah.
I literally did anyone tout Alberto this week besides Davis? Did anyone? Davis, his audience has gotten too big.
I'm like almost afraid to. I didn't have him as like the worst play in the world. Definitely did not tout him, but
is that a Dwelly TD?
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude.
Failed the 2-point conversion. Failed the 2-point conversion.
Why? What are you rooting against?
I want the game to just chill out. If they score, it's a 1-possession game. If do 1 rush to Metcalf bomb, and I'm toast.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out what does the 2-point conversion have any effect on this?
Because then Seattle's less likely to throw.
Okay.
McKinnon gets the 2-point conversion. The guy on Seattle like let him score. He like didn't touch him. It was super weird.
The chat says the 2-point looks short. They're wanting to go to the tape.
Oh, he did touch him. He did touch him. Oh, he's short. He's short. Go to the tape.
My favorite thing, and I can't tell how the video is cropped, but whenever I see Leone's hook, it kills me every time. Because sometimes he'll be making a point and the hook will just like drift up into frame.
It's for emphasis.
What do we need here, boys?
It's hard to know.
We need a Hunter Henry touchdown, followed by a
Hunter
Judy
Henry
bomb.
Yes.
And we need this Seattle San Francisco game to go tick tock, and end.
Hopefully.
Yes, Siler, I am begging for Russ to stop cooking. The chat hates us, doesn't it? Always.
The chat wants Corey to win. It's a rough scene.
Chat's not coming at us, though. They were coming at us a little bit last week. I think they feel kind of bad for us. I guess not Leone, obviously, because he's winning everything. But
the 2-point conversion, according to DK's live scoring, was reversed.
Yeah, they're never wrong. So
Get a Hunter Henry. I'm at 19th place now. Hunter Henry.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Pat, how much is 19th worth?
$1,000.
1,000.
Jeez, I wouldn't fucking get out of bed for that, but congrats, man.
All right, so 19. But the margins are thin, man. We get Judy into this bonus territory, and we're talking top 10.
He's jumping. Someone in the chat wants us to talk about Jonathan Taylor. I believe Leone and I had an exchange where we mentioned the words Trent Richardson. Anyone else want to join us on that one?
Dude, so bad.
Jordan Wilkins, like stealing Jonathan Taylor, one of the top 5, rookie running back prospects over the past 6 to 7 years. I mean, what the hell?
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Who's their goal line running back, Pete? We all know who it is. And it's not
there was
Taylor.
one sequence where Taylor had already busted, but he got stuffed at the 1, and immediately Wilkins comes in and scores the next play. And Holka, I thought, was gonna lose it. He was not pleased. I mean, I wasn't pleased either, but it seemed to really get to you.
Yeah, I mean, I was checking my scores like a normal person during the week.
It was so fun to be on the Jonathan Taylor, Kenny Golladay mini correlation instead of the Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams one. That was a fun 2v2. Actually, we were never on that one, but it feels fun to think.
We never talked about that. I don't think any of us mentioned Dalvin Cook this morning, unless I was just not paying attention.
I mean, in our defense, we don't have anyone kind of like boots on the ground in Minnesota that could envision this blow up
games in Green Bay.
So I did mention Devontae Adams. When I mentioned Devontae Adams, that was the cue for you to go, "Oh, Dalvin Cook bring back mini correlation." So I like to think that you failed us.
People want to rip me about Derrick Henry, but like I always pick wrong on Dalvin Cook. Anyone that's been like watching any of my stuff for the last 3 years, I am wrong every time. And then he'll go off on Thursday Night Football or whatever. It's not great.
We're in the point of the show where we're all pointing hooks in the other direction. It was Holka's fault. Holka should have gotten us on Dalvin Hook.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna hold this min cash, right? I mean, every dollar counts, so we can do reckless things over the course of the season.
Someone just said DK. DK is unstoppable. What did he do?
No, no, don't, don't,
DK.
What happened?
DK.
don't do it to me.
43 points.
Why would they be passing to DK?
DK.
Why? Yeah, why would they be? What the?
DK.
They don't even need to.
It,
The
it,
chat
it
is
was just,
trolling
it
us
was
right
just
now
a
for
first
sure.
down. But I'll show you what he did. He went up like this, caught it, came in bounds, 8-yard catch, and everyone lost their shit.
Oh my god! Come on, guys! Don't do this to me. Just run the clock out. I don't get it. Why it's so difficult of a concept. Churn, DJ, churn.
Top 10 for Noel fan.
Nice, Noel. He's got DJ, right?
Here we go, Denver.
Let's look at it.
All
I
right,
keep
it's
forgetting.
Judy time. It's Judy time.
The thing is, I'll take even anyone can score from Denver because then it puts the Chargers in a position where they have to pass. And Herbert's at 278 passing. I got Allen, I got Henry, so that'd just be good setup.
I think
Here-
basically anybody but Metcalf.
Here's a real question. So last year we saw like a pattern with Evans and Godwin where they were super negatively correlated, but one of them went off basically every week. Are we starting to see that now with Lockett and Metcalf? Because early on it was just like you just play the double, it's super concentrated, and now we've started to see this mini trend with one of them going off big time. And I don't know if that's impacted by defenses focusing on one or the other, but what do you guys think of that?
I think it's kind of fluky, but I'll also say the hard part right now is that they've got an expensive, and when Russ gets there, even though we have the let Russ cook movement, he's not like Matt Ryan where he's throwing for 400 and completing like 40 passes when he does it. You know, he's usually super efficient, and it's not a ton of completions. It just super efficient. You know, we're seeing it today where he's thrown 270 and 4 touchdowns, but I think he's sub 30 completions. And it does become a little bit harder to get the ceiling out of both guys if they're not, you know, it's not like both guys can catch 10 balls. That's usually not what we see out of the Seattle offense. As far as the actual distribution of points between the two receivers, I think it's been a little bit fluky.
Yeah.
Really dirty hit on Russ just now. Gives Seattle a free first down. Hopefully they're running.
Can we get some DJ Dallas? Let's go.
I know
Nice,
for the
nice.
just break a run here, DJ.
You weren't coming off that no matter what this week, Pete. And I love that. 'Cause
Dude, like I have turned into more of an information grinder. Pat and Davis made fun of me about this, but now I started writing this newsletter. I'm writing the Fantasy Life newsletter. And so I'm reading all the beat reports. I'm reading all of the quotes. And like, I'm reading Gene Bramall over at Football Guys. And everyone was like, this mid-foot sprain for Carson is basically impossible to play through. Like, it seems so rosy for the Seahawks to be like, he's going to play it through. And then also the Homer stuff was he barely played all week. He practiced a little bit on Friday. And I was just like, dude, DJ is the dude here. And that ended up being the case. And he's not even smashing, but at 4,000, I think the process, we got to TTP it here. I think it was a great play at 4,000.
The ownership was phenomenal. I mean, Drew and I talked about it on our show. I backed off a little bit because I started to get worried that I wasn't too worried about Carson. I started to get worried that Homer might play more than the week of practice let on. But at the end of the day, where the ownership was, because when the news came out, it was worth taking that risk that, you know, even if Homer ended up splitting 50-50, right? And it didn't work out for you, 3% though, at a chance to get a guy that would have been 25 to 30% owned otherwise. It was really good process, really good play. I'm glad I got it in a little bit. I am tilting myself a little bit for backing off, and it worked out really well because this second straight week where, with the exception of Dalvin Cook, it's not like a lot of running backs really separated from the field.
And the one thing I'll say sometimes about those plays and there were two components, right? There was the price and there was the ownership. And we talk about how even playing DJ Dallas, if he doesn't play, it gets you on a different construction, right? It allows you to pay up for Metcalf. It allows you to pay up for Devontae Adams. And not only are you getting a low-owned good play, but you're getting a different construction. And that's what's huge on slates like this where the chalk flops. And that's what I loved about the DJ play.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a crucial point is in addition to the ownership and him being just a very good value, different build on a week where salary cap matter. That's a really important point to make.
Yeah. John Russell is trying to act like this was some obvious play. Way to go. You played the only running back on the team. So Pat is in a contest right now in the red zone with 7,000 people. He is 2.5% owned. 2.5% owned. So John, it actually wasn't that obvious to a lot of people to play DJ Dallas. But yes, it was very obvious. I now agree with you.
But I mean, like Devontae Adams was an obvious play too. We knew how big his target share had been over the past few weeks. He just came off this huge smash game, but people weren't really on him because he was very expensive. So the point about being able to get to a different build is exactly right. Like that's how I was able to get to Cook and Adams, is that I played Dallas, and that wasn't a popular move. Most
And
people wanted to be on the other running backs.
sometimes I find when I do that, then it forces you to fade a running back that maybe you like and you don't intend on fading, like a Kareem Hunt. I played a ton of Kareem Hunt. It was hard because I didn't lock it down to the 2. So maybe we can get some DJ Dallas here.
Everybody has him though. It's not going to help Pat if DJ Dallas scores here. Everybody.
But you know what I mean?
It's basically a block at this point.
Where Kerrane and I talked about this a little bit, and when I did a show in the preseason and Levitan asked me how I build, I said, sometimes I like to start with my leverage stuff first and then fill in around it. And sometimes as a result,
Dallas,
DJ Dallas.
Let's go.
Let's go.
15. Let's go.
That's probably big for Noel too.
Yeah, that's got to be huge for Noel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Noel is in 7th.
That's awesome.
Let's
Pat's
go.
up to 1,500 in 15th place.
Couple sweats.
There you go.
Love it.
Wow. And
I got the Broncos moving too.
I would like to announce I am now min cashing in the double spy. I would just like to announce that with a Russ, DK Metcalf, DJ Dallas team.
Let's go. Can we tilt though that we have 2 DJ Dallas teams in the Mega Millie and they both suck, and our team that's cashing is actually a non-DJ Dallas team?
Yeah, that is brutal.
Was there any swaps here, Pete? Or you're just all in on this game?
No, I was so basically.
Judy. Come on, Judy.
Yeah, let's get Judy going. My thought, like I was telling Pat this, I was telling Leone, and Leone, we were all having trouble stacking this game. I didn't want to be on the Jimmy G side. And what I ended up arriving on was doing a Russ skinny to Metcalf with DJ Dallas. And I know that's kind of an unconventional stack, but that was just the way the pricing and the ownership stuff worked out. So that's just kind of what I ended up on.
We're also fading Chicago, New Orleans overtime. I thought it was over, but they must have overturned a fumble by the Bears. And now the Bears just converted a 4th and 7. They're at about midfield down a field goal.
Leone, did anyone have DJ in the Thunderdome?
One team. What was really weird is one team had Dallas and 3 had Tevin Coleman, which seems so weird to me.
Yeah.
Right? Unless all the teams with Tevin were like, I got to swap off DJ because I'm doing poorly, and all these teams are going to play DJ. Like, that's super weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird because I see Tevin, like if you put him as the placeholder, as the fallback if Carson is active, and then if he's not active, you play Dallas, is kind of how I would have thought about it, I think.
Yeah. Come on, Saints, get a stop. Saints stop, Judy TD, let's get these things into our lives. Visualize it.
Can we get some Judy from Mr. Pat Kerrane right now?
4th and 1 for Denver. Melvin Gordon just made a pretty sick catch on 3rd and 5, but he's short.
They're out of timeouts. Only 19 seconds left in that game.
Pat, what you need?
TD and the missed extra point.
Yeah, Judy TD, they go for 2 for the kill and then send it to OT.
Yeah.
Can we get Buffalo Wild Wings over here? Send this thing to overtime.
I don't know if they're reviewing the spot here. He might have gotten the first down. Oh, I see Albert O cheering. He's on the field. I don't like that. Don't like that.
That was a sick Melvin Gordon catch. I just saw it. Kendrick Bourne moving the chains.
Oh boy.
I can't believe I'm profitable on today as of right now.
Sweet flex, bro.
Yeah.
By about 0.1%, I'm profitable.
Build that bankroll, man.
Can the Niners just give up? God.
This is that when you're in these tournaments, like if I just get like 10 more points, it's like 45 more $100, you know, like
So top heavy.
now where it starts to scale.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Bears convert another 4th down.
I like Leone's the only one on the planet sweating this Bears game right now. I keep forgetting about it. I actually thought that game was at 1 p.m. for a long time, and I was like, wow, Red Zone really isn't showing this Bears Saints game.
I'm also, there's some Bourne teams now moving up. Oh, I'm a wreck over here, man.
Yeah. Let's yes, people are asking. I don't know if we gave context for this one. So new esports fan asked, what was Leone's lineup? So he ran Mahomes and Hill Kelsey double stack, brought it back with the 2 punt Jets plays, and then he got in the chalk running backs with Hunt and Williams and Keenan Allen in the flex, Browns D. And again, this to me, this is the perfect illustration of how a condensed game stack can win the Thunderdome, a small field contest, win the chalk flops, even with Leone having some of that chalk that flopped, because he went all in and he got there with the Chiefs. And that's all it took. The bringbacks didn't even smash, but just being right on Hill and Kelsey and Mahomes is enough to put you in first. Do you agree with that thought process, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, to be able to get Kelsey as the only person in the tournament with Kelsey, you know, it's huge. Obviously, ran pretty pure, the Kelsey versus Kittle difference, but you know, Kelsey probably should never be a 4th of what Kittle is. Big sack for the Saints. But yeah, I mean, like you said, you want to limit the things you have to do to get right. And I said last week when I came in dead last, the ETR optimal lineup actually won the Thunderdome. So I should be happy. My projections did well. The optimal wins, but 3 people had that lineup. They chopped 3. And the difference between 1st and 7th was like 6 points. And I'm just not going to win those weeks. I'm trying to win the lower scoring weeks. I think the score last week was like 208 that got there. You know, this week, I'm hoping to hang on at 163 basically. So, but it's getting very tight here for sure.
Yeah, Leone still has a sweat here. What just happened here? People were talking about Bourne. I missed it. What happened?
Bourne has 7 for 74. San Francisco's close to scoring again. I think they're out of timeouts though.
Oh, Corey said he fell out of first.
Oh, that stings.
What do we need from Corey? Does he needs Metcalf is the only thing. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. So he just got passed by a Bourne team.
Ugh. Does that Bourne team also have Metcalf? It does.
Yeah. That's tough. Man, that team had Mike Williams. I don't know. Like, I read and consumed a decent amount of content this week. I don't know if I saw anyone talking about Mike Williams.
And he's literally 1 yard away from hitting the bonus still.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is a huge field goal in the Bears game.
Leone keeps reminding me of this Bears game.
Yeah.
I have my bootleg streams of the Seahawks game and the Broncos game, and then on Red Zone, I have the Bears game. I'm like, oh yeah.
Man, Kittle was 53% owned in the Thunderdome though, and Garoppolo 53% owned. So like, just not playing.
Oh, did they freeze him? They froze him. The kick didn't count. Oh my god, dude! Empire Maker's gonna chase me down and beat me with Kamara.
Yeah, he just said on Twitter, imagine betting against me in DFS. I can't believe, Leone, you entered a contest with Empire Maker. How could you do that?
I don't know what I was thinking.
You're dressed up.
I was
like,
surprised. Yeah, I was a little surprised he played Metcalf over Lockett, which, you know, obviously worked out.
You think he had Debo before or something? Or not
No,
Debo,
he might have swapped something. Like he might have swapped off a Jimmy team, maybe. I don't know.
Hard to say. This is a little less optimal than we normally see from Empire, though, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I was surprised by that lineup.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see.
Whenever we get the hook in frame. All right. Oh, Leone, this is going to overtime in Chicago.
That's not good.
Leone tried to type with one hook.
Is the chat saying what's happened yet in Denver?
Broncos get a first and goal. Pass interference on the Chargers.
I swear to God, if Alberto scores.
If Alberto scores, we're shutting this whole stream down. I called it. I called it.
I think Albert O is the intended target on that pass interference call.
He was. He was.
Oh my God, I can't believe
Someone
Empire
said
gets
flag.
overtime. He's going to get a bonus and a touchdown and beat me. Ayuk scores a touchdown.
Chad
Ayuk
is saying,
touchdown.
yeah, Ayuk touchdown.
How are we not min cashing
well,
our
yeah.
Russ
It's gonna kill me.
double?
Yeah, what is going on with that one?
I guess having Le'Veon Bell and Kareem Hunt and Denzel Mims and George Kittle just really hurts your chances.
All right, KJ Hamler touchdown.
Hamler
So
touchdown.
now I need a missed extra point, or a failed 2-point conversion.
Dude, I'll take that too because Empire Maker doesn't have Keenan.
So what? Oh my God. Go for 2. Have a killer instinct.
Why would they go for 2? It's tied. They just extra point wins.
I mean, no guts,
Oh, yeah.
no glory.
Pete just said that and it got in my head. There's no reason at all. They'd never do that. I just talked myself into it. Oh.
Just no gamble, no
Never would.
future.
This whole time I've been like, but they could go for 2.
That's because he said it earlier and I kind of glossed over it.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, that needed to be Judy then.
Man, you're really
Dude,
fading.
what's the point of doing the tilt space if you can't root for a team to go for 2 when it's completely unnecessary?
Man, Kamara cannot get the
Judy-
bonus,
Judy
Leone.
break them.
4 reception yards away. Receiving yards away. Kamara has 39 rushing yards in this game.
All right, so Seattle's just going to kneel, right? They can just kneel?
You would think. There's 49ers have no timeouts.
Should be
Yeah,
time for
they're
one
out
more
of
Metcalf
timeouts.
bomb.
Who is the more snake-bitten, cursed franchise? The Chargers or the Falcons?
Is it even close? Has to be the Falcons, right?
Chargers are pretty bad. All right, Leone. So what are we sweating in this OT here with the Saints?
9.9 Kamara points, but he's 4 receiving yards away from the bonus. So basically, if he gets the bonus and scores a touchdown, it's over. And there's another team with Kamara too that's like further back. What's going on in the Denver game?
There's a flag that they made the extra point. I'm not sure who it's against.
Extra point was
All right.
good.
Extra points good.
Second
Walk
over.
off win for the Broncos. Now it's time. All right, Pat. So where did you finish up in this?
Well, probably lower than I currently am
No.
because of Kamara.
All right, so you're at 22nd right now. But I first want let's I know it stings not to access this, but I want to shout out Pat for some of his recent GPP performances. If you guys don't know, a few weeks ago he took down the Engage 8 tournament. That's literally just a 3 max $8 tournament. Took that down for first place, and now coming in here, he's in the top 25 of 6,818 contestants. Like, well, the thing we talk about with these GPPs is getting those shots on goal in the top 20, and then you need luck, to get first place. So this is one of those things where Pat had an extremely nice shot on goal here. So kudos, Pat. Another sick lineup by you, my man.
Thanks, appreciate it, Pete.
It's a big field, man. 6,800 people.
Yeah.
Solid team.
Wish I put this in something smaller.
Leone and Peter don't like when I say that. When it's like, oh yeah, I wish we had this in whatever. How do you guys pick which lineup goes where? I can't deal with those.
Well, we'll let people know what we did for our contest selection this week, because we knew we wanted to play the Millie Maker, and normally we kind of spread ourselves a little thin, but we had the same. We made 3 lineups this week, and we put them in the Mega Million. And what was the name of the secondary 3 max contest?
Because there was no juke for some reason. Normally we play the $400 juke 3 max, and this week there was no juke, which was weird. But they also had I don't think the spin move is normally a 3 max, is it, Leone? I don't know.
That was the new tournament. They did a lot of weird tournament stuff this week.
Really
they had a really large field $100 tournament too.
Yeah, the spy was $200. Really odd.
Yeah, so
this is the first week we've done that, though, where we haven't had like one team that was like significantly higher dollar, right?
Yeah. Who's taking down? Do we recognize the name taking down the Mega Million?
It is Steve O.J.
Steve O.J. Any other names we recognize up there?
Nolfan 7th. Asani 10th. Papa Gates 12th.
What was the max entry on the Mega Million?
100 maybe?
Holy shit.
100.
Did anyone max it? Can you tell?
If I really wanted to.
How sick would you have to be to max the Mega Millionaire? What is that, $100,000?
Dude, it was 200. I think it's $100,000 to max. Yeah. Yeah. Are you talking the Chipotle brothers? Both maxed it.
Did they?
Yeah, I saw someone tweet that. I guess I haven't.
There's only 5 people that maxed it.
Yeah.
Brandon Adams, Chipotle Addict, Papa Gates, Kunu 88, Ricky D. That's it.
Actually, guys, about the process I used for putting this lineup in this contest.
Let's do it.
To get your thoughts. So, because I was fading. I didn't completely fade it because I had DJ Dallas, but I was basically fading the Seattle game, which I knew would be pretty chalky. And then I didn't have any of the running back chalk. And I had DJ Dallas kind of as this floating piece, although the rest of the lineup was correlated. That's why it felt to me like a larger field lineup. But I know, like Leone, I know you specialize in these smaller fields. Like, do you agree with that, or would this have been the type of lineup you'd have loved to put in something smaller?
I think if you're deciding where to put lineups, that having a pretty big fade on the game and also fading 2 chalkish running backs, it makes sense that would be the lineup you would choose to pick to play in a larger field tournament. As far as what you would play in a smaller field, though, like I still think I would have been okay playing that. I think people are too. I feel like people almost think they have to have some chalk pieces in a small field. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I want to build smart lineups. If it involves the chalk, that's fine. But I don't think there's this balance where it's like, oh, you're contrarian here, so you have to play the chalk there. If it doesn't fit, I don't think you have to force yourself into chalk pieces.
And like this week was a good example. Last week we talked a lot about pivoting from, it didn't work out, but we pivoted to Mike Davis. We had some where we pivoted to Zeke. This week, like obviously Dalvin Cook was the smash pivot, but were there any other really good running back pivots off the chalk that I'm forgetting right now?
Dude, the running back sucked, right? I mean, unless you played Jonathan Wilkins. There was Hines and Wilkins, right? But I mean, no one that you really consider. I mean, some people considered Hines, but there wasn't a lot.
Moss, I guess, but that no one was playing.
I guess
Yeah, that
Gio ended up being
Gio-
lower
oh,
owned than
Gio-
most people, right?
Yeah, Gio was probably way too low owned.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
he
a
only,
good point.
He only touched the ball 18 times, but I mean, got 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. Like he didn't even have 100 yards total.
Yeah, he probably definitely ran hot on touchdowns, but we had talked about this dynamic, right? Where the price goes up on these chalk running backs a week after, and then they get a second crack at it. It was the Jamal Williams, Gio Bernard thing, and people get sticker shock. But for whatever reason, people weren't as scared off of Jamal Williams as they were Gio, myself included. I had basically no Gio today, and that ended up being a pretty nice play.
You guys see that Josh Jacobs had 31 rush attempts for 128 yards and no touchdowns?
How many
Yeah,
rush
Dink
attempts?
he got stuffed from the 1 yard line on 3 consecutive plays at one point in that game.
Wow.
Well, we were talking about that, Leone, earlier. We had floated it for a second because, you know, we were getting down on the passing game there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we had, like, when I was looking at, you know, one of the things I like to look at in general, it's very simple. I'm looking at ownership relative to ceiling projection. And Josh Jacobs was the one guy that stood out up there. And of course, like, I couldn't stomach it, but it made sense from that perspective.
Yeah, he basically did what we were kind of hoping Hunt would do. You know, game windy, they're going to just pound the rock. Hunt didn't end up getting a lot of touches because the team didn't run a lot of plays. I felt like, I'll have to check the box score, but it felt like the Raiders just ran so many more plays than the Browns. And that ended up being the biggest difference between Hunt and Jacobs. I don't think it was that one was like way more efficient than the other or something like that.
Yeah. The chat is tilting Alvin Kamara drop right now.
Good. Fuck you, chat.
Why is the chat rooting for Alvin Kamara?
Man, we were
The
kind of
chat-
beating ourselves up a little bit for defense, though. Like the only cheap defense that did well was Dolphins. At the top, Steelers 3,600, Colts 3,100, Chiefs 4,500. The Raiders are up there for just 9 points, but like literally, like there's only 3 defenses over like in double-digit points this week. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just like a weird week at defense, unless you had the Dolphins, I guess.
Yeah, but they ended up being, you know, like what were they in your contest, Pat? You played the Dolphins D.
17.6.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
so
I
they
didn't think they'd
were.
be that high.
Well, I think it was the defense everyone played. If they punted, I think it was just kind of that's the only defense I'm willing to play that's that cheap. Not hey, we should play the Dolphins defense type thing. Is that how you picked them, Pat? Or
Well, I had him with Gaskin, and
Oh,
I had a lot of Dolphins defense this week because of exactly what you said. The only one who I could even stomach below that was the Vikings. They were 22,
yeah,
but they felt like they're just a much less comfortable play.
a big 4th down here in the Bears Saints game, which is, yes, Peter, it is still happening. It is going on right now.
This is one of those like slow deaths by 1,000 cuts kind of game. So let's check in here on Leone here in the Thunderdome. Currently still in first place, 163.14 points. Empire Maker behind him here, 153.34 with just Alvin Kamara going. So he basically needs an Alvin Kamara touchdown.
The issue is
it's like
he's got the bonus
25 yards
coming.
roughly.
So, well, a 25-yard catch doesn't get him
Sorry,
to 10
longer than
points,
that, though.
but
Yeah, you're right.
But basically anything bonus and touchdown would get it. So I think the Saints are punting, which is big because, I mean, you're still fading a long touchdown from Kamara, but the fact that they're punting, you know, makes it less likely that they're going to really try to get the touchdown because it's sudden death now.
You'll be happy to know my second highest scoring lineup of the week is in the Modelo free roll here.
Seriously? What was that one?
I just fired off a Burrow double stack into that but I had the same Cook and Adams correlation there.
Nice.
I'm currently winning $2.
Leone, you were talking about Devontae Adams before we went live too. Like this might be like the lowest scoring 3 touchdown game in history, right? Like he's got 7 receptions for 53 yards and 3 touchdowns on 12 targets.
Well, especially for Devontae Adams,
like
that's a pretty big surprise there. You know, Metcalf ends up scoring 2 touchdowns and really wiping the floor with Devontae.
Yeah.
It was definitely a strange, and the wind probably played a factor in that game, but it was super high scoring. At one point, there were 7 no, not 7. There were 5 possessions in the game, and all 5 were either a Dalvin Cook touchdown or a Devontae Adams touchdown, which is wild. They were long drives though, so it was. I think the first half was basically, and there might have been another like kneel down possession in there somewhere, but the first half I think was 2 long drives for Green Bay with Adams touchdowns. The opposite for the Vikings, 2 long drives with Dalvin touchdowns, and then the third quarter opens up with a long drive with the Dalvin touchdown. It was pretty insane.
PMac Daddy in the chat says, what tournament are you sweating for 30K with a piece of shit score of 153? Well, let me tell you, PMac Daddy, if you have $5,000 to enter the 30-person Thunderdome contest, you too can win a tournament with a piece of shit score of 153. And the funny thing is, too, that's what we're talking about. On the low scoring weeks, the chalk is going to absolutely bury us. But Leone is going to win the Thunderdome on weeks like this where the chalk flops and he nails his game stack. And it's also, again, that point of how important tournament selection is. You know, Pat had an absolute nut lineup and is not going to finish in the top 10 of a 7,000 person contest. And I'm not saying Pat should have been playing a 200 person contest, but I'm saying in general, if you're putting a lineup in a 300,000 person contest, like your results are going to scale proportionally to how big that contest is.
And basically he's just ripping on Pat right now for not having this team in the Thunderdome is what you're saying, right? Like this 205, like just wipes
yeah,
the floor.
Why weren't you in the Thunderdome, Pat?
What are you thinking, man? Kidding me?
I blew it.
A Justin Herbert double stack in the Thunderdome? Sack up, Pat.
Yeah.
The payout structure too in these tournaments, I mean, almost all of them, it's so top heavy that you almost have to finish in the top 10. And that in a way doesn't make sense because you want to think of it as percentage wise, you know, finishing top 10 in 100,000 person tournaments way different than finishing top 10 in a 200 person tournament. But it's almost regardless of the tournament size, you really got to play to finish in the top 10. I mean, there's some give and take leeway there as far as min cash stuff, but to, you know, get a meaningful boost to your bankroll, you know, you pretty much have to crack that top 10. I mean, Kerrane, you were even saying you got in top 20, and that's kind of the point where you really started to level up with each additional point. But until you got there, it was kind of like very gradual leveling up.
And then I fell out of the top 20. I mean, this was a fun week, but ultimately, like, I'm gonna be up like $50. You know what I mean? Because I'm up 700. I won 700 in this tournament, but I entered 800, and I like min cashed a couple other stuff. So it's but if I had had another 15 points, it'd been a very different story.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to that thing too of like you're just trying to put shots on goal. Like Pat was so close to nailing all of the elements you needed to win, but you got to be so perfect. And like even if Pat had narrowed down on that core with those correlations and stuff, and then cycled through 10 different, you know, iterations around that, he still might not have landed on the nut lineup, even identifying, you know, 3 of the best 4 plays on the slate. You know, that it's so fucking hard to be perfect.
That's a tough game for sure.
Also, I gave Pat his shout out. We need to also recognize how fucking hard Leone is crushing this year right now. I mean, what was it? The luxury box that you shipped, Leone?
I ended up coming in, I think 4th in the luxury box. That was the Zeke. That was when I was kind of anti-sweating our Thunderdome team.
Yeah. And then you shipped the juke, right?
Yeah, I shipped the juke to start off the year, which was a really good start. We came in 2nd in the juke the 1 week, which let us play the 1500 game changer, which we shipped 1st place the week after that.
How are you?
And then 5th in the luxury box. And now hopefully
hold on here. Yeah. I'm not trying to jinx you, but I just want to give your due. Again, I'm trying to like one of the things we do here is set like realistic expectations for like what can happen, but to show when you're putting shots on goal and to see the results from Pat, from Leone, from the tilt space, from my lineups, from Joe's lineups, like you can get there. You just need the shots on goal. And Leone is on a sick run right now.
Pete,
And
we might have the chat of the year right now. It's like 20 Rick says, if I have another losing week and Pete says shots on goal one more time, I'm jumping. So good.
I love 20 Rick. I love 20 Rick.
So good.
1.2 with the contest selection. I think a lot of people that want to win really big prizes, they think that they have to do it all at once. Literally, our bankroll and all these contests that I've done well in, I don't think a single one of them has been more than a 200-person tournament. And we leveled up, right? We started playing the Juke, $400 entry fee tournament. We come in second for 8K. We're able to play the 1500, and we're able to play a small field tournament with a high grand prize. Now, not everyone can enter a $400 tournament and then a 1500, but the idea is you can level up and still maintain small fields as you do so and increase your chances of winning. You don't have to have a bank with a 50K person field to have a really good season. So you can sort of like take it step by step and build your bankroll with these smaller tournaments.
It's hard, man. I fall in the same trap. When I go into my DK app and I put in the filters for when I want to, look at the contests I want to join, and I always search or sort by prizes to first. It's just what I do. I think we all do it. We all want to see what is that prize to first. And it's a hard habit to get yourself out of. What I like to do is to try to balance it a little bit where I have a contest where I'm putting the same lineup in 3 or 4 times. And one's a smaller, one could be the $3.20 max with 100,000 to first that I need to run like God to win. But it kind of helps me balance out that FOMO of being like, all right, if this hits and I don't win the big prize versus like, hey, let's give myself a chance of having a profitable day, as opposed to like the thought process with Showdown, right? Where it's like you're eating shit like week, slate after slate after slate because it's just so hard to get first place. Chat saying Taysom Hill, F my L. What is going on?
He had a nice run, but nothing crazy. They're about midfield. I'm hoping to get into that zone where it's like, okay, even if Kamara scores, I'm okay. But the problem with that bonus is if he scores on a reception from pretty much anywhere, it's kind of like good night.
Leone, do you think this is going to be like a superstitious thing for you? If you wear the Thunderdome in this hook outfit, you're going to wear it every single week?
You have to wear it until you get last again.
I don't think so.
Did you
it's the
have
Mahomes jersey?
That's what did it? Did you have it in the craft room, or did you get this outfit specifically for this Halloween?
I got it specifically for this Halloween. My son was into Peter Pan, and he was actually the crocodile. He was really pumped about that. So he was the crocodile. My wife was Wendy. I was Captain Hook, and nobody was Peter Pan.
Yeah, I liked it.
Leone, what are we going to do for week 10? We got Bills, Cardinals. You and we got to put something on the line for that. We got to wear jerseys. We got to do the whole thing.
Are you a Cardinals fan?
Yeah, I'm not aware of this,
Arizona,
Joe.
Dude. You guys want to keep calling me a Vikings fan. It's the worst bit ever.
What? You were obsessed with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I brought up
I did
Dalvin
not
Cook
know
this
you were a
morning.
Cardinals fan.
You guys just like threw me aside. Oh, yeah, Joe just wants to play Dalvin Cook again. We can't do that. Kidding me?
Joe, I am being completely honest. I'm not doing a bit. I never knew you had a single tie to Arizona.
Anytime you ever say I'm not doing a bit, I know you're doing a bit.
Leone, did you know he had any ties with Arizona?
I knew he had. I like vaguely remember that, but I had no idea you were a Cardinals fan. I mean, we literally did an entire show around
I'm a professional tout, Leone. I put that stuff aside to give the people the plays, the picks, the stacks, all of it, man. I can't just be touting the Cardinals every week. People will be really upset. We got to be impartial. That's what we're trying to do here.
Nicholas Barnes is trying to jinx me. They need a field goal to win. Won't score a TD. Congrats, Leone. Dude, it's not like Kamara is going to go down at the 1 if he's running in for a touchdown. What are you talking about?
Fake news from TJ Hernandez in the chat right now.
Oh, God, what did he say? I saw Hoka wearing a skull shirt.
Standing right next to TJ drinking an IPA, if that's the truth.
Nick says, how do you know Pete is doing a bit? He's breathing.
How do you know Pete's doing it? I know how you know, because Davis does the same thing a week later.
Zing.
Shove it. What makes you think I would ever do a bit?
That's a hat on a hat, Pete.
2 hats, 1 Pete.
I have gotten some requests, Leone. They want like another true drunk Leone show.
Oh, they want a true. Oh man.
Like can't figure out how to put the mic in front of his face.
No, I don't think we're gonna get quite there.
Maybe a little more buzz than I
My
thought. I
wife
just
will
tried to
leave
tag
me.
TJ in the chat and just tagged line movement. So I don't know. A couple mimosas deep. I just can't even.
We
type
had a
anymore.
pretty good drunk show that we had technical issues for when we did the randomizer. That was
We
like a
did.
good level of drunk.
Yeah. We were trying to recapture it, and then you and me, and mainly me, because I was hosting it, trying to figure out OBS and all that. And then StreamYard came into my life and made everything much easier.
Saved your life.
It really did. If it wasn't for StreamYard, I
Oh
wouldn't
my
be
god.
here right now. I wouldn't be here. What happened, Leone?
I don't know. The chat says I lost. I'm not looking at it. I want to see the play.
I see coffins in the chat.
Yeah, I think it's over.
What is does the chat know? Like, I mean, he has to score a touchdown.
Yeah, no.
I know, but
I
they're
think the
saying
chat's trolling us
coffins.
right now.
I hope
Oh.
they're trying. I'm on pins and needles watching this play though. Kamara split out wide. Holy mother of God. Breeze.
God, we got
Breeze
full.
takes the snap.
Trying to figure out what the chat is talking about
I
here.
think the
I don't
chat's
know.
trolling.
Anytime they talk in full caps,
I think they're trolling. I'm hoping they're trolling.
Why
I'm
is it the
hoping they're
chat
trolling.
gets to live in the future?
The chat is really messing with us. Guys, the chat, I can't handle this. I cannot handle it.
I mean, theoretically, DraftKings live scoring should be in step with the chat, and I'm here looking, and Leone still has a 10-point lead. So
We got a defensive penalty on the Bears too. Like the closer we get to field goal range, the better. And like hopefully they just settle for a field goal.
chat, I swear to God, you guys do that 13, 14 more times, you are out of here.
dude,
Out of here.
we will shut it down. We'll do this show for ourselves. We'll
actually
stream
think
this
I'm-
on the dark web.
I think I'm okay with a rushing touchdown. It's just receiving now. Because he would get the bonus and the catch.
I agree with Nick. Put the hook back on, man. The hook was going well. Okay, the hook is on.
Hook's on.
Have you typed any emails with the hook?
I have not. Oh my God, timeout now. Oh, this game's taking for like the longest sweat possible, huh?
Remember when you guys found out Leone used the browser version of Discord instead of the app? Nick has my favorite. Also, shout out to the guy that asked if I live in this sweatshirt. No, I do not. I am a company man though. I'll wear this hat on every stream all year. Guaranteed.
That was a pretty big boomer moment for me. The browser Discord.
Yeah,
I'll have
I'm
to.
in the
That was a
browser.
tough scene, man.
The worst for me was when I revealed that I use a combination of Google Sheets and numbers on iMac for my spreadsheets, and I got roasted for that.
Dude,
hard.
Google Sheets is fine. Numbers is, I mean, come on, get like a Microsoft
even-
Home and Student for $100, buddy.
I'm really comfortable in numbers at this point.
Pete, you
Numbers
passed
is
me this year. I was a VLOOKUP guy, and apparently I'm like just a huge fish for that. And now you're not even
Oh.
you're not even a VLOOKUP guy now, Pete. Like
Index
you're up
match.
there.
Leone has me set on the index match.
That's
Pat.
way above my
yeah.
pay grade.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were up to index match.
yeah, dude, it's pretty sick. I still don't know how the sausage gets made, but I know how to replicate the equations that Leone has helped me create.
So Kamara with a longish run, but now hopefully they just kick a field goal. They're down to the 11. I think if he runs it in, I'm okay. I think I can survive a rushing touchdown.
People are saying
It
field
seems
goal.
unlikely they would pass, right?
Everyone
they just
says
kick
the
the field
kicker's
goal.
out
It's
there.
over. Field goal unit out on the field. Just make the field goal.
first and
Come
15.
on. I feel like
Can I get some domes in the chat for Leone? Can I get some
Dome.
domes? Let me see the dome. Joe, do not say to make it a binary number thing. Can I see the
Can I get a
written
1 in the
word?
chat?
No. Can I get some domes in the chat?
Pete, you were the
wait,
first
what's
one
going
that
on?
did it.
Now the field goal unit. What is happening? And the game. Delay game. Oh, I see a lot of domes. Come on. Just
Get the
end
ones out of the
game.
chat. Get the ones out of the chat.
Oh my, Joe, did you figure out the poll thing?
The ones in the chat. The people have
No,
spoken.
get the
Let's go.
ones. Dome.
Love it. Hang on. This is the best thing.
No, no numbers.
Chat's officially
Joe, you
on my
can't.
side.
You gotta stop. What's this line movement?
What do you mean?
One,
That's
two,
not me.
two.
That's
You
that's
aren't
producer
humans.
Jordan.
Oh, Jordan.
I
What's
mean,
with
sorry.
the?
I mean, you aren't robots.
Oh my God!
Dome.
Someone just is. I'm pretty sure
Dome.
PMac has been trolling this whole time. He goes Kamara for 5 yards passing. That makes no sense.
Wow, I just got limited by YouTube. You have been sending too many messages. Take a break and try again.
That would never happen on Twitch, man.
Yeah, why did you ever leave Twitch, Joe?
Terrible decision. I just decided that clickbait wasn't optional, so YouTube was a better fit for me.
So, guys, what are we gonna enter next week?
Oh, says the guy that just has dome dollars flowing out of his hook costume. Well, we're on what, a 3-week losing streak now?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll get back to you when I make
we-
my deposit.
We did min cash. We got about half our money back this week.
Did we?
Yeah, we cashed for 1,500 in the Mega Millionaire, and we had 3K in there.
Huge.
There we go.
It's good. Saints game. It's over.
Nice spike.
Over.
Let's hear from Mike in the chat here.
Can we
I
get-
got to give kudos. Like I said, Andrew Wiggins and Pete both really helped me get on this lineup. I really had no idea what I was doing this week.
I'm like really happy
Leone.
that I was never included of those people that helped you this week, Leone. It's great. Because it's very accurate.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, one more catch for Kamara. Probably close to 100K swing for Noel. That's rough, man.
Oh,
Talk about
Yeah,
shots on goal.
100K
Pete.
swing.
Couple shots on
100K
goal for
swing.
Noel.
Oh, jeez.
Do not say shots on goal. Rick is going to throw himself off a bridge if I say shots on goal again.
Oh yeah, show the
And
lineup. What am I doing?
What's another good analogy for shots on goal? Help me out here, guys.
Is there another one?
Shots on goal. What's another thing where volume is rewarded, even if
You
it
miss
doesn't
100%
work?
of the shots you don't take. I don't know.
That's right.
Nice little 40K score for Chris Neville, our CEO.
In what contest?
That's his whole action, basically. So that's profit, I believe. So taking out what he had in. So shout out to him. Didn't quite get to Leone level, but that's a solid score for our fearless leader. Now he's just got to roll it back into some more showdown queues. I think that's the only play.
Look at this, Leone. The chat is really trying to mess with you. Scotty says, field goal blocked. Kamara come from off the sideline, pick up the ball, and score a touchdown.
I can appreciate the suck it empire makers in the chat, though.
Ooh, Ron Paul was spray and pray. That kind of works.
Ducks on the pond.
Ducks on
That's
the
a good one.
pond.
I like it.
Yeah,
Get some-
guys, we're just trying to get ducks on the pond here. What can I say? I mean, you get as many ducks out on the pond, and then you just shrug your shoulders and hope the ducks do what you want them to do.
Yeah,
Not
what are you
your best
hoping for?
delivery, but for a first try, it was okay.
Let's see there. Come on, guys. I need help here. I'll do line reads of your suggestions. Someone says Tinder matches. That's right. You just need to get one of these chicks to love your bio. You never know what could blossom.
It's a numbers game, really.
Yeah. Pucks in deep. Okay. No, we need a non-hockey and soccer analogy here.
Not on board with that. I think pucks in deep is perfect.
What is that an actual phrase? Pucks
Yeah, you
in
got to
deep?
get pucks in deep, man. Haven't you ever heard any hockey interview ever? They literally get interviewed in between periods, and they ask them the same questions. They give the same answers. Like, oh yeah, I don't know. We just kind of have to get pucks in deep, make sure we're getting in on the forecheck and just throwing pucks on goal. It's the same exact. Like, have you listened to Sidney Crosby? He's done the same interview 18,000 times.
Oh, we just got to get some of the pucks on the ice there and get them in deep, and
I'll help you out.
just let
You need to work on the Canadian accent, but we got time. It's only week 9.
While are you doing accents, you want to do chances on goal in an English accent?
That's true.
Chances on goal. What? Let me get in the mood here. Who's an English soccer player? David Beckham with another chance on goal.
I'm trying to search analogies for shots on
That
goal.
is the most Leone thing ever. Analogies for shots on goal. Leone's like, I just ran a sim and it found all the most adjacent phrases.
Horses for courses?
You guys just got to get horses for courses out there. The less
This is a British saying. It comes from the idea that racehorses are observed often to perform best on certain racetracks. Oh, you just got to play the right contests, right team in the right contest. Horses for courses.
I like this one. Hit some greens in regulation. Get some greens in regulation, guys.
Oh, that is probably the best one yet. Greens in a reg.
Let's get greens in reg, guys.
Birdie putts. Just want some birdie putts,
Ballots
right?
in the
I
mail.
mean, they'll drop eventually.
Oh, you know what? Actually, this is another good one. I say this a lot when I'm golfing. It's just a chip and a putt. You just need to get it to where you're chipping a putt away.
Just a quick up and down.
A quick up and down right out of the bunker. Darts on the board.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. I guess we're going to have to go to the drawing board on this. Is the tilt space over, guys?
I
So
don't know, man. You're the
I
host.
think next week we should play the game changer. I feel like that's our speed, right? Get 3 teams in the game changer, 150 to 200 man field.
Wait, isn't the game changer 1500?
I'm sorry, I meant the check down, the 777 one.
Okay, yeah.
Although I know, Peter, you heard a little bit of, okay, like, just he was resigned a little bit there because these big grand prizes have really just.
They've messed with me, dude. I don't get out of bed for. I mean, I'm happy for you that you won the 40,000. Wouldn't even lose any sleep over that.
50 if we're counting.
Oh, my bad,
but-
50. Yeah. You know what I call that?
We could do the game
just another
changer.
day getting greens in regulation, Leone. That's all that is.
Hopefully the juke is back. What is that?
Yeah, like
Last
we could do
tournament on
the game
DraftKings, they just,
changer
nah, we're
juke.
not doing it.
Like the game changer's juke would be like 2,700 out. That'd be pretty good.
Mhm.
Right?
Really kind of dial in our bankroll management a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, nippers that. Don't
Oh,
like,
Mister, I just won the Thunderdome is going to shame me for being a nit.
well,
I'm sorry,
I don't want you guys to lose your bankroll, okay?
Come out of my poofing hook sleeves.
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going into the Target bag and I'm getting a candy bar. I deserve it.
All right, I'm going to bring us out here. Chat, thank you guys for joining us as usual. I am glad Leone went and got that so we could see his outfit once again. Yeah, Nick Tully says it right. You won the game changer. Go back to your roots. All right. Thank you to Pat Kerrane for hopping on and sweating with us. I will plug for Pat Kerrane. So Pat and I do a show every single Wednesday night called Ship Chasing, but Pat also does a solo show where he gets away from the tyranny of me and he does Stat Chasing. It comes out every Tuesday afternoon/evening. It's like a deep dive look at everything that happened in the previous week. You guys can check that out. It's one of the best primers you can consume for your week of research for both season long and DFS. We got Joe Holka killing it on his YouTube channel. We want you guys to subscribe to the Line Movement channel. Hit the like button. We'll be back every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We got betting shows on Tuesday with Lamarca, Dieter, and Joe. We got our Thursday night preview before Thursday night football kickoff. And then we're here every Sunday morning at 11 p.m. to walk you guys through the slate. And then, of course, there's Mike Leone, who also does a podcast with Pat Kerrane, Establish the Edge. We got him over here on ETR. And just, I truly do think Leone is the hottest GPP player going right now. You need to be paying attention to what he's saying, what he's doing. So for Joe, for Pat Kerrane, for Mike Leone, I'm Peter Overzet. This has been the Tilt Space. We'll see you next week.